Hello, Akshay. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also good. So, Akshay, please tell me about yourself.
Sir, first of all, thank you for giving this opportunity. I am Akshay Nanaji Ditarmare. I am from Nagpur. I completed my graduation from Nagpur University in a computer engineering branch. Currently, I am working in an Archisoft solution from last 2 years. I'm having a skill set of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, SAS, Bootstrap, Angular. And my hobbies are basically singing, but challenging myself and eager to learn new things. So this is all about me, sir. Thank you.
So, Akshay, how much you rate yourself out of 5 in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript?
Sir, 4.5.
Okay. What are the data types we have in JavaScript?
So there are two data types in JavaScript. First is a primitive and another is a non-primitive. In primitive, there are 5 types: string, boolean, number, undefined, and null. And in a primitive, non-primitive, there are a function, array, and object. Primitive basically holds the value, and non-primitive holds the reference. So this is the data types in JavaScript.
What is hosting in JavaScript?
Sir, the declaration present in the scope get shifted top of the scope. This is the basic concept of hosting.
Oh. What is the difference between equal to and strictly equal to?
Sir, actually, in a equal to, it checks value of declaration, and in strictly equal to, it checks value as well as the data types also. So this is the basic difference.
What is pure function?
Sir, in pure function, basically we have 3 conditions. So we have to satisfy that 3 conditions. First is it must have same output for same input.
Okay.
It must return something, and it did not depends upon any external factor. So if we satisfy that 3 condition, that function is called as a pure function.
External factor means external declaration.
Yeah, external declarations.
What is difference between call, bind, and apply?
Call, bind, and apply. No, sir. I don't know about it.
What is the difference between let, const, and var?
Sir, there are 3 basic difference in let, const, and var. First is a scope. Var did not create a local scope, and let and const are created a local scope. So this is first difference. Another is a declaration, reassign and redeclaration. In var we can reassign and redeclaration, but in a let we can redeclare, but we can reassign, but we cannot redeclare. And in const, neither we redeclare nor we reassign. And the third one is hosting. The hosting is possible in all 3 cases, var, let, and const. But while in var, if we use declaration before, if we console declaration, then it get output undefined, and in let and const it throws error, and the error was we can't use before initialize it. So this is the difference between let, const, and var.
What is currying function?
Sir, currying function is a function which is passed a same number of arguments, and chaining of that functions. So this is called currying.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I'll show you some example.
Yeah. Yes.
If you allow me. Yes. if I have a function,
Mhm.
function return
Okay, it's okay.
So this is occurring, sir. We are adding we are passing same number of argument, and it returns then output.
I have passed a statement in chat section. Will you please copy that to your editor?
Yes.
What will be the output of this statement?
Mm, Sir, this is the output.
Okay. And what will be the data type?
So data type is string, because it's a concept of portion. The number is converted into string, and it is a string 1111, and we are
Okay.
we are adding string and a boolean, then a boolean also convert in string.
Okay.
Yes.
What is lexical scope?
Sir, a lexical scope is a scope of parent.
Okay. And what is closure?
Sir, the function with its lexical scope is called closure. If I want to, can I explain it more?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. When an inner function, when inner function having some declaration, it create a scope which is lexical scope, and that inner function access all data of that scope. And as I said, lexical scope is a scope of parent. So so this is the concept of closure, sir, and it is an example of that closure.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
What is temporal dead zone?
What, sir? Pardon?
What is temporal dead zone?
Temporal dead zone.
Temporal.
Temporal.
Yes.
No, sir, I don't aware about it.
I have passed in chat section.
Temporal dead zone.
Temporal dead zone.
No, sir, I'm not aware about it.
Okay. What is IFI?
Sir, if is a immediately invoke function expression, it get executed instantly when it get defined. Can I show example?
Yes.
So this is the example of if, sir.
Okay. Do you know how to decode or encode the URLs in JavaScript?
Decode and encode.
Yes.
Sir, can you elaborate your question, please?
How to decode or encode URL in JavaScript?
No, sir, I don't know. Encode. No, sir,
Okay.
I don't know.
What is service worker?
Service outer.
Worker.
Service worker.
Yes.
No, sir. Actually, I'm not aware of it.
Okay. Do you know web storages?
Yes, sir. Actually, web storages allows us to store data locally. It is a API given by HTML5. It stores data locally from 5 MB to 25 MB. It varies browser by browser.
Okay.
And there are two types of web storages. First is a local storage, and another is a session storage. So in a local storage, we can store some data with no expiration date or no expiration time.
Okay.
If I will check after a day or after a week or after a year, we'll get the same data as it is. But in a session storage, we can store data, but but it will lose after a closing session or after closing a browser tab. So this is the local storage, session storage, and web storage.
What are the methods available on local storage?
Yes. In local storage, there are a set item and get item. In local storage and session storage also, there is a set items and get items. And also, if we actually web storages can understand JSON format only. So so the data we will store into it in database or in a local storage. So we have to convert it in a JSON format using a stringify method. And if we accept or we want to get data from local storage or session storage, then we have to parse it using a JSON.parse method.
What is promise?
Actually, promise is a it is a object in a JavaScript which is get some value in future. And it is also used to handle asynchronous behavior of JavaScript. As we know, the JavaScript has a synchronous behavior because it is a single-threaded language. So we have to if there is any asynchronous behavior, we are using a promises over there. And basically promise returns some promise having two functions in arguments. And if promise get succeed, then it get resolved. If there is some error happened, then it will get rejected. There are also some states in it. So these are pending state, fulfilled, rejected, and settled. So if pending, if I'll promise you, though then it promise is a pending, not fulfilled, neither rejected, but fulfilled. If action related that promise is get succeeded, then it fulfilled. If rejected, then if some error there is a error occurred, that the promise get rejected. And settled state is if my promise either succeeded, either fulfilled, or either or rejected. So this is a settled state.
Okay. What is callback function?
Sir, actually callback function is a function which is passed as an argument or a parameter in inside another function. So it is a callback function.
What is callback help?
Callback help. So if we have a nested of callbacks over there, so we have to code read that code hardly. So that time callback hell is happened. And for overcoming that callback hell, we use promises.
What is promise chaining?
Promise chaining. So multiple promises we use,
Okay.
and while we are consuming them using a then and catch method. So multiple promises we are using we are consuming one promise, after that another
Okay.
after consuming on
More
another.
specifically, what we can say, the process of executing a sequence of asynchronous tasks one another.
Okay, sir.
The process of executing sequence of asynchronous tasks, right?
Yes.
One another using promises is known as promise chaining.
Yes, sir.
It means handling multiple asynchronous tasks
Yeah.
with the help of promise.
Yes.
What strict mode?
Actually, if we use strict mode, then like here, I'm not applying a semicolon here, or any like anything is missing, any some declaration or something was missing. So
Okay.
use strict mode is looking for that, and throw some error that you have to apply semicolon over there, or this like this. So this is a strict mode.
What is difference between undefined and not defined?
Sir, actually undefined is we define but not assign any value to it, that particular declaration. But not defined is we cannot we not declare it or not define it. So this is the undefined and not defined.
Do you know what is web workers?
Web workers. No, sir. I think I'm not aware about it. Web worker.
What is isNaN?
IsNaN.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. Actually, isNaN is a method in JavaScript which, if it checks that if we passing something that is number or not, and it shows in a true or it returns a value in true or false in a Boolean format.
Okay. What if I pass 10 value in isNaN? What will it return?
10 inside it.
Yes.
isNaN. It's not a number. 10. Sir, can I write?
Yes.
10, not a number. Sir, it get a false. Hello. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Sir, it returns false.
Yeah. Okay. Correct. What is difference between attribute and property?
Sir, actually, attribute is it gives meta information of HTML element, and property use in CSS. We have to style them, or we this kind of if we have to style them and store some value in property.
Attributes are defined on HTML markup, right?
Yes.
Which gives some meta information to the browser, whereas properties are defined on the document object.
Yes, sir. Properties defined on document.
What is difference between HTML and HTML5?
Yes, sir. Actually, HTML5 is more semantic than older version of HTMLs. So we are using a semantic tag. Semantic tag like header, footer, section, canvas, SVG, audio, video tags, and iframes, form, main tag, article tag. These are the semantic tags we use. It also supports multimedia tags. As I said, we use audio, video tags, and HTML5 gives some browsers API like geolocation API, fetch and fetch API, web storages, file API. So this is the basic difference, and this basic difference in HTML of HTML5, which is a newer, which get different from older version of HTML.
So what is fetch API?
Yes. So actually, Fetch API is a modern interface which is used to get data from server and sending HTTP request to server from our web browsers. So it is a Fetch API.
Mhm.
Can I elaborate it?
Yeah. You can use this URL.
Yes. I want to call it using Fetch.
Yes, you have to call.
So we get a array for that 200 objects. Actually, I want to mention some here. Fetch is Fetch is returning a promise for the response, and and on that response we use a JSON method. The method which is why we use this, because when we use the JSON method, it automatically converts our data from JSON to JavaScript object. So that's why we use JSON method here. And we'll get our data in JavaScript format. We don't want to parse it, or we don't want to use a JSON.parse method for that.
So why you call then method twice?
Sir, because as I said, that fetch API or fetch method. This is a method used on window object. Method is written a promise, and whenever something is written a promise, we have to consume it.
Okay.
And after consuming it, it gets a response. But while on that response, we use the JSON method, and JSON method also return another promise.
Okay.
So we also have to consume it.
Okay.
Yes.
What is box model?
Yes, sir. It is an essential box model which binds in all HTML elements. It contains margin, border, padding, and content.
Okay.
Yes.
What is box sizing?
Box sizing is a property which allows us to adding padding and border in HTML elements actual width and height. So there is a value if we use box sizing content box. So it's a by default value, and we use a box sizing border box. Then it it get as I said, it will allows us to add padding and border inside it, inside their height and width.
What is the difference between display none and visibility none?
Display none and visibility none. Yes. Actually, in display none, if we have some if we have a div element, then if we apply property display none on that div element, that the element get disappear, and another element get is occupied their space of that particular element. If I applied visibility none on that particular div, then that space was it get disappear, but that space get empty, and another elements cannot occupy their space. So this is the difference.
What is difference between CSS and CSS3?
Yes, CSS3, actually CSS3 is a latest latest version of CSS3 we are using. It supports media queries. It we having a selectors like a relational selectors, pseudo selectors inside it, and we having a gradients in it. We use a linear gradient, gradient. We have multiple backgrounds into it, and we use also we are using a box sizing property. We having a 2D and 3D transform into it. We are using animations in it using a keyframes. So this is the this all get it makes a difference from a older version of CSS.
What is the difference between image tag and picture tag?
Sir, actually, I am using image tag more time, but I'm not using picture tag as much. So I don't know exact difference, but both are showing images. Picture tag is a semantic tag we are using in a HTML file.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
What are the best audio and video formats to use in HTML5?
Sir, for audio formats, we are using a MP3. And for video format, we are using a MP4 MPEG format. This format we are using.
For video purpose, we use MP4, WebM, yes, and OGG, not MP.
MPEG, no, yes, sir. OGG.
And for audio, we use MP3, OGG, WebM, ADTS, WAV.
Yes.
What is spread operator?
Spread operator. So spread operator, if I use spread operator in any string, then it will split that string it will split that string letter by letter. So and we have to apply before that string. We have to apply three magical dots we are using for a spread. Can I show some examples?
Yeah, what will be the output?
Yes. Str is equal to so the output is it's splitting the JavaScript string into letter in each letter.
Okay. So output will be the array.
Yes. This is the array.
What is template literal in ES6?
Yes, sir. Actually, template literal is a using backtick. It is a string interpolation we are using in a ES6.
What are the classes in ES6?
Classes, sir. Actually, classes is not yeah, actually it is a sugar coating of constructor function we are using. If and it as much as same like actually these are the constructor function, but if we wrote it using a class, so it also works. And using it whenever we are calling that class or that using that class name, it calls their constructor and create a instances for that same.
So how to create class in ES6? Can you write a simple example?
Yes, sir. So this kind we are using a class.
Are you sure this is correct format? Okay, that's okay.
Yes, sir. Actually, if I wrote a constructor and it automatically changes in a class because it's a sugar coating of constructor function.
Okay. What is abstraction?
Sir, abstraction is a method which is hiding hiding some details and show some essential.
Okay. Can you write example for the same?
Yes. If I have a function, then main function. Please start. So so actually there is a these properties used outside whenever we create an instance of that particular circle. But there is some property or any property of that constructor function which don't want to access outside that function. So we use keywords, let keyword, and diameter. So it is not actually it is not accessing outside because we are using a declare using a late keyword. It declare with a late keyword. It creates a local scope, and we cannot use outside that local scope. So using this, we are abstract it, or we are hiding our diameter property from accessing outside. Hello.
What is inheritance?
Yes, sir. Actually, inheritance is a deriving one from actually is a prototypical inheritance or only inheritance?
Inheritance.
Sir, deriving one from another is a inheritance.
Okay.
Or if I am having some property or methods in one, and we are accessing in different in another, so we are deriving this from one to another. If parent, if we are using a construct one constructor and constructor function, and we access already we are yeah, we have some methods in their prototype. Actually, I'm talking about prototypical inheritance. So if I have to access it in another also, another I think another constructor function also. So that time we use prototypical inheritance for the methods and properties we are using.
What is recursive function?
Sir, actually, recursive function is which is calling itself inside their function is a recursive or recursion.
Can you write a function to find that the given number is prime or not?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is
Okay. So Akshay, I have done from my side. Do you have any question for me?
sir. Actually, yes, I have a question. I have some questions like that temporal dead zone or this.
Yeah.
So can we discuss it after that session?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.